Hello there. I'm Brother Richard Hart, and I wanted to give you an introduction to a taping that myself and Brother Carlos did a few months ago. The theme at that time was Hard Fighting Soldier, where we talk about people in the music industry who are hard fighting soldiers. But before we talk a little bit more about that, I want to say that this being June Black Music Month, we always celebrate it in our country, and we wanted to just present a little something for you all. We in church sometimes talk about praise ye to the Lord and sing to him in Psalms 100. And we know that our ancestors back in the days had to make it through their struggles by praising God and also singing hymns. And as the Underground Railroad and all those things in our history, we know that song was important in their life. So we just want to recognize them with some of the artifacts that you'll see shown here of the history of music, especially in our culture. And we know we've had artists who have always pinpointed things that is relevant in our life, even today. And you will see that in the taping about the conditions of police brutality, protests, war, and even inflation. So sit back and enjoy as we take you through a musical journey. God bless. How you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. We've had some rough last couple of months, but we're still here. Still work the church. Everything's good.
And for me, I would say it's a lovely day.
Mm-hmm.
Something that a person by the name of Bill Withers,
Bill Withers. Yeah.
well, a classic song.
Mm-hmm.
And as we talking about songs, this being February, Black History Month,
Right.
and within Black history, music has certainly been a big part of our culture.
Without question.
And when we think about the music, I wonder to you,
Mm-hmm.
who have been the game changers in the music industry, and in particular for our black music?
Game changers. Well, I'm sure you probably expect me to say a singer, an artist, an African American artist. But I would have to say that as much as we as a people enjoy music and communicate it through music, even the slaves communicated through music, you know.
Yeah.
Some songs actually said, we're getting out tonight, we're escaping, okay?
Yeah.
But to go a little past that, I would say the game changers are the guys who decided to make the music their own.
Okay.
Not the ones who just created the music, but the ones who created the companies that made the music.
Okay.
Now, there were always companies. I can remember back as 1921, as far as 1921, there was a company called Black Swan.
Oh.
And they made music out of Harlem.
Uh-huh.
But they didn't keep the proceeds that they should have until they realized that not only can they create the music, they need to create the companies, okay? And when I think of creating companies, I can only think of one person.
Who's that?
Berry Gordy.
Oh, wow.
Berry Gordy was smart enough to create a company whereby he would manufacture the records instead of just having the larger white companies distribute them. And that way they were able to keep the money in-house. And that was truly bragging rights for the community of Detroit.
Uh-huh.
They loved Berry Gordy.
Okay.
People flocked to Detroit from all over the country just to make music under the Motown banner.
Wow.
So I would say, as far as the game changer is concerned, it would be Berry Gordy.
Now I just heard you say Motown.
Mm-hmm.
Where they come up? Where is Motown?
Motown is in Detroit.
All right.
And you know what came out of Detroit?
Yeah.
Cars.
Yeah.
Motor City, Motown. That's where we get the name.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they also had that building, Hitsville. What was that all about?
Hitsville, USA, on Grand Boulevard in Detroit.
Okay.
And they called it Hitsville because they were constantly churning out hits.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was a time when you would have 5 out of the top 10 songs from Motown on the pop charts.
Okay.
The pop charts.
Yeah.
Okay, not just the Jet Top 20. We're talking Billboard. The pop out of the pop top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Motown sometimes had 5 songs running deep.
Yeah. Now you said other people were influenced by Berry Gordy. I remember reading a book that Gamble and Huff said they used to look at Barry Gordy and want to copy their style.
Exactly. Because of Barry Gordy's success with his own company, then you had people like Gamble and Huff, who created the Philadelphia International sound. Okay, the Stylistics, the OJs, groups like that, and they were incentivized by Barry, just as L.A. Reid, Babyface. They were incentivized by him as well. Russell Simmons with Def Jam Records. Okay,
yeah,
a lot of people were influenced by Barry.
Wow. So as we're talking about this Motown sound, are there any artists that you think still have a lasting effect on our culture?
Now that's like asking me to pick my favorite child, okay? Now we have Diane Ross, of course, and you may recall that Oprah Winfrey said that she incentivized her when she saw her on Ed Sullivan as a child back in the 60s. She wanted to be powerful like her, you know.
Yeah.
And we see where it got her.
Absolutely.
Okay. Smokey Robinson still has a great impact. He wrote over 4,000 songs, and a lot of people look at him as the catalyst or the behind-the-scenes success of Motown. Okay, and I find it very hard to disagree.
Yeah.
The Temptations, New Edition, Jackson 5, other groups with three-part harmony wanted to be like the Temps, and they'll gladly admit that they patterned themselves after their style. Okay. Now, the most impact, I would have to go with Michael Jackson.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Michael Jackson. Now, just recently, there's been a lot of controversy regarding who put on the best performance at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it certainly have.
Particularly with this last one with Dr. Dre, Snoop, Mary J. Blige. But if you stop and think about it, when Mike appeared in 1993, he jumped on stage and stood there for almost 2 minutes.
Yeah, he did. He sure did.
And he got more applause. He got more applause just standing there than the others did performing. Okay, and you got to take that into consideration. So yeah, I guess I can pick a favorite child now. I have to say Michael Jackson.
That's a powerful person, and it certainly has had a lasting effect. Now, while we're here, we have an artist in our backdrop here. What's going on? Marvin Gaye. What type of impact do you feel that this album has had on society?
Do you know how old this album is?
Oh, I know it goes back.
1971.
Yes. Wow.
Right. Now, and if you look at some of the songs, What's Going On, What's Happening, Brother, it addresses issues such as the Vietnam War, the ills of the ghetto, of the inner city, inner city blues, and those are unfortunately problems that we still have today. The album is a classic, and it still addresses issues that we have today. Inner City Blues talks about crime increasing, trigger happy policing.
Yes.
And what's going on today? George Floyd. Dante Wright. Unfortunately, we still have those same issues that was addressed in what's going on 50 years ago.
Isn't that something?
Which is why it's still a classic today.
And you know, Rolling Stones magazine, they have the 500 albums of all time. And guess what is number one?
Wow, who?
Marvin Gaye's What's Going On.
I am not surprised.
It's, as you say, it's still relevant. You know, What's Happening, Brother is a favorite of mine off of there. You know, there were sayings on there. What's going on? What's happening, brother?
Right.
We still use those today in our community. I want you to have the opportunity to win this album, Marvin Gaye, What's Going On, limited edition. What comes within the album is this poster of what's going on along with the iconic album. Now, here's the instructions on how to win this album. You will have to send me an email, one entry per email, no multiple answers, but each email you can guess these three, the answers to these three questions here. The first question, what instrument did Marvin Gaye play? Second, what song gave Marvin Gaye his first Grammy Award? And thirdly, what is Marvin Gaye's full name at birth with the spelling? Again, what instrument did Marvin Gaye play? What song gave Marvin Gaye his first Grammy Award? And what is his full birth name? Now, you have to send that to my email, which is rich, R-I-C-H, the letter T, Hart, H-A-R-T, Rich T Hart @gmail.com. And the first email that has all the correct answer, again, not multiple entries, but the first email with the correct answer will get this album, What's Going On. And I know you will enjoy it. It is an iconic album. Thank you so much.